So I want to read a couple of quotes for you guys that have been left on videos that deal with graded comics. All slabs are hype. A comic is worthless to me if I can't read it. The 9.2, 9.4, 9.6 grades are scams. CGC is a scam. People that grade comics are suckers. These are just some of the divisive comments that have been left on videos recently that deal with graded comics. In this video, we are going to dig into this. Stay tuned. Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. I am on the struggle bus with these comments. And here's the reality is that I have been reading these comments, these same type of comments for years. And sometimes these comments come from the exact same person month after month, video after video, year after year. And I honestly do not get it. I like to take a step back from things and ask the why question. What are people hoping to accomplish by leaving these negative, divisive comments on videos, video after video? I personally don't consume content that I don't agree with. I just avoid it, right? Or I say my piece and then I move on. That is a better use of my time. But again, I see people that leave essentially the same comments video after video after video saying that they don't agree with this thing. We hear you. We hear you. We understand your point of view. It is not necessary to continue leaving the comments there. But the question is, what are they actually hoping to accomplish? Do they think by leaving these comments on videos that people are going to be convinced and persuaded to not grade comics? Because if that's the goal, I don't think that that's going to work. Is the goal to basically destroy the thing that they say that they love? And I say that because by being negative, by being divisive, they are essentially creating a barrier. They're creating a toxic environment that people won't want to be a part of. New people that come to this hobby seeing a lot of negativity will just walk away. A lot of the toxicity that exists right now in the comic book community is actually driving people away. Now, this isn't to say that people shouldn't profess their opinions. By all means, say what it is that you have to say, but do it in a way that is respectful to other people, isn't necessarily condescending, and you can just make your point and then move on. You don't have to basically cut and paste the same comment video after video to try to make your point unless your goal is to destroy the hobby. And that is something that I struggle with. I recently had a conversation with another content creator that told me that they were thinking about just walking away from the hobby because of all of the toxicity that exists. And I encourage this person to not let them win, to not let the toxic few drive them away from something that they love. I encourage them to push back against this toxic narrative that permeates the hobby, because I really do think that it is a small group of people. Now, with that said, I have taken a look at the arguments that people have made against slabbing comics, and honestly, I haven't really seen a compelling argument for any of it. What I see is people expressing their personal preferences that are anti-grading comics. I see people passing off opinions as facts, but what I haven't really seen is a compelling argument. And if there were a compelling argument, I would be all ears to actually hear it. But what I oftentimes see is, I believe, show the facts as to why and how it is actually a scam. Otherwise, you are just spouting off your opinions. One of the big complaints that I see from people is that when you slab a comic, you don't have the ability to read that comic. The reality is that if you have a good book in your collection, or a good collection overall of books that have value, maybe hundreds to thousands of dollars, you are not casually thumbing through those comics. That is nonsense. I don't know anybody that has #1 key comics that they're casually just thumbing through because they want to refresh their memory on the story. More than likely, you have those comics in your collection and you treat them like the prized possessions that they are, the wonderful pieces of history that they represent. You treasure them, you protect them, you don't casually thumb through them. Now, I will say there has been a lot of comics that have been graded over the years that I don't think should be graded. But it isn't my place to tell someone else how to spend their money. It's their money. It's their collection. If it makes them happy, allow them to do that, because them spending money the way that they choose to doesn't actually have any impact on me whatsoever. Someone loving raw comics should be allowed to love those raw comics. You love Golden Age, love them. If you want to get your books graded by EGS, CBCS, PGX, CGC, do it. At the end of the day, I love this hobby, and I want the hobby to be around for a long time. I want new people to continue finding their way to this hobby, and I want folks to just continue enjoying it, enjoying the stories that are being told, enjoy the great artwork. Find a way that the hobby makes sense to you and works for you, and then do that thing. Stop being toxic. Stop being negative for no good reason. I feel a lot better now that I've gotten that off my chest. Maybe you agree or disagree. I encourage you to sound off in the comment section. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care. If you haven't already done so, I want to invite you to check out a quality publication that I am releasing called Isolation. Our issue 4 is available right now as a Kickstarter on SWOLDIERpublishing.com. Link in the description.
This thing on? Mic check. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me clearly. Yeah. Should you practice art? Or should art be your practice? I had a question, so I asked it. Not to anyone specifically, but to my inner God, you know? The one that's gonna be a master. The one that's more than a rapper. The one that's an educator. The one that seeks enlightenment. He travels with concepts. He's got the mindset expansive. He understands that his time combined with travel and concepts makes his mind convex. Sort of like when you look at a brain scan. Straight off meditation, we was concaving until we had that eternal dialogue that created our dialect. Now we in distinct rooms of pure souls having them conversations. Synergy and combinations. You fly and we waiting. Indian style and the gold.